Hey, sports fans, Larry Eater, RunBlogRun. This is day 4, trials breakdown. This is where we tell you everything that happened and try to give you some behind the scenes things. It was hot as hell in Hayward Field yesterday. They said that the air temperature is 92 degrees, and I believe the temperature on the track was somewhere around 105 to 110. With that, we had 6 finals and a qualifying round in the steeplechase. The Olympic trials are the cruelest and most honest way to pick a U.S. team. I've been watching the trials since 1976. In every Olympic trials, there's people who don't make it. World record holder Terry Alberton in 1976 didn't make it, as did several others. And day 4 had examples of those making it and big surprises too. Moments of pathos, moments of joy, moments of sadness, moments of happiness, respecting athletes who have taken 12 to 15 years of their lives to make an Olympic team. And that's the thing that people don't understand. Track and field, if you want immediate gratification, play pinball. If you want to learn about yourself and challenge yourself, compete in track and field. That's just the way it is. These are life lessons. I believe that in running the businesses that I've run over the last 35 years, if I hadn't competed in track and field and learned the lessons that I did from there, I would not have been successful in business. So tenacity is one of the big things. Speaking of tenacity, we're going to start with the men's pole vault. And again, an example of you got to be ready on that day, and just a little bit being off does it for you. Chris Nielsen cleared every height he did until after he won, and he tried 6 meters. He cleared 545, 560, 570, 575, 580, 585, 590 on first attempts. Looked great. Sam Kendricks, Sam is an Olympic bronze medalist. He's a world champion, and he wears the Nike black uniform, which is something only world champions get. I think it's kind of cool. He cleared 545, 560, 570, 575, and then he had a miss at 580. And being the savvy vaulter that he is, he passed, went to 585, cleared there, and then at 590, couldn't get over. Winds, heat, combination of things. And then Casey Lightfoot. Casey is the young athlete who just joined the Puma brand. He cleared 545, 560, took him 2 attempts at 570. Then he did 575, 580, 585, and then 3 attempts at 590. So he and Sam tied. And the vault was extremely competitive. But Sam said something in the post-event interview that was interesting. He said that the Nike black world champions uniform gives the athlete a lot of respect and a lot of prestige, but also a lot of attention. So everybody wants to beat that athlete. And so he called it golden handcuffs. And I think that's interesting. And that theme will play out in a couple of the other events later on today. The next event we're going to talk about is the men's javelin. Now, the javelin is one of the oldest events in track and field. Javelin is made with 3 pieces of metal, okay? And were times, especially with the old Nemeth javelin, that it was going like 320, 330 feet. So they had to change some of the dynamics. We've got some pretty good javelin throwers right now. Curtis Thompson went 82.78, and he won the trials. He does not have an Olympic standard. Michael Shuey, 79.24, in second, no Olympic standard. And Riley DeLazel, 77.07. So I believe that one of the athletes, I think Curtis Thompson will be able to compete in Tokyo. No one else will unless they get the standards. that's just the way it is with the world. We don't have that with too many events. Most of our events, we have a plethora of people making the standards. So that ends the men's javelin. Our next event on day 4 is the men's steeplechase. It was the heats, and there were 2 heats. Again, it was 105 to 110 degrees on the track, and it was it really had to affect them. 7.5 laps. There is 1 water barrier each lap, and there are 3 other barriers. Isaac Updike won Heat 1 in 8:21:01. Hillary Bohr, 8:21:09. Daniel Michalski, 8:22:03. Alec Bastian, 8:22:22. Travis Mahoney, 8:24:05. Don Cabral, he is an Olympian, and he's competing for Tracksmith now, 8:24:14. Duncan Hamilton, 8:25:70. Anthony Rotich, 8:25:74. And the last in that heat in 9th was Sean McGordy. This is Sean's 4th marathon, I believe, or 4th steeplechase. I think he opened up with an 8:22. So pretty impressive. They're 8:25:95, but it was hot as hell out there. I mean, they were hurting. Heat 2, Bernard Katir, 8:29:04. Mason Furlick, 8:30:78. Absa Ali, 8:31:54. Brian Braza, 8:31:96. And Jackson Messler, 8:33:09. Our friend Craig Huff from the Hoka Aggie Track Club, 8:49:98 and 10th. He hit an early barrier, and he had a bit of a Cinderella story. He had run 8:36, and then he at the Portland Track Festival came back at Stumptown and ran an 8:30. What was it now? He ran 8:30.33 and won his heat. He just didn't have that luck. His nephew, or he is the nephew of Ivan Huff, and he is a tremendous. I think he's got tremendous potential, and I look forward to seeing him compete in the future. So the men's steeplechase, we're missing Evan Jager. Evan is injured, and he was trying to come back, but he had some issues that he had to deal with, and we hope to see him back next season. So ends the steeplechase. And now we will be getting on to the men's triple jump. Now, the men's triple jump normally is a battle between Will Clay and Christian Taylor, but less than a month ago, Christian ruptured one of his Achilles, had surgery that day. We'll see him next season. But I think that the hard thing for Will Clay is Will Clay needs competition. Will Clay and Christian have been competing since they were in high school. But Will got a little competition during the day. He opened up at 16:95, and Donald Scott started challenging him by the third, hit 16:98. And then Will Clay went 17:10, and Donald Scott went 17:18. And it looked like that was going to be it. And Donald Scott then went 17:08 in the 5th round, and 17:11 in the final round. And with 1 jump to go, Will Clay had to make it or break it. He had fouled in the 5th, and he came out at 17:21. And so Will Clay won. He's got the Olympic standard. Donald Scott, 17:18, he's got the Olympic standard. Chris Bernard, Olympic standard also, and he was at 17:01. Chris Carter, 16:82. So the triple jump is one of the toughest events in all of track and field. Seb Coe back in 1996 in a story with Kenny Moore called it the most difficult event on the human body. And I believe that. But Will Clay, who has won medals in both the triple jump and the long jump in the Olympics, he did that in 2012. And the last time that had been done was in 1932 by a British jumper. Will is incredibly talented. I think we'll see him in the long jump as well. He's also a musician and a commercial director. He did this amazing commercial during the American Track League. If you get a chance to check him out. But Will's a lot of fun. We're hoping to get him on social the distance soon too. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. But so ends the men's triple jump. One of the most pleasing events of the evening on day 4 was the women's 1500. Yes, some of the complexion had been changed because Shelby Houlihan wasn't there. But the truth is, Elle Perrier St. Pierre won it in her style. She did it her way. And in truth, it's Elle's world. We just live here. So what did Elle Perrier do? She went out like a bat out of Vermont, where she's from. And 64.79 for the first lap, 209.19 at 800, 311.41. And then she finished in 358.03. Meet record, PB. She's medal contender. This woman's tough as nails. Right on her shoulder was Corey McGee, 65, flat, 209.30, 311.50, 40.67, a PB. Danny Jones had been up there with Elle through about the 1200 and then, dropped back to 406. Heather McLean was in third place. Heather's one of the big stories of the year. When Heather came into this race, she didn't even have the Olympic standard. And she ran 4:02:09. And so New Balance went 1, 2, 3. So congratulations to Tom Carleo of New Balance, a 3:42 1500 guy when he was with Nike Boston. The club is a big one of the things that New Balance does, and it's really nice to see them doing so well. 1, 2, 3 in there. What was Danny Jones was in 9th, and in 10th place was Jenny Simpson, 5-time global medalist to the 1500. She ran 4:07. In 13th place was Nikki Hiltz from Adidas. Just did not have a good day. It could have been the heat. But all things go to Elle Perrier St. Pierre. We've interviewed Elle on Socially the Distance, and we'll repost that today. 3:58:03, leading most of the way. Kind of got knocked off the track early on, and she said in the post-race interview, kind of annoyed her a little bit. The truth is, that could have been the best thing to happen to her. American athletes need to get pushed around a little bit because it happens in the heats and it happens in the finals of Olympic championships, and you got to be able to handle that stuff. Corey McGee's running the best she's done in years, and she ran with confidence, with vigor, and she was tough. And that 40.67, which was her PB. Heather McLean, we've been watching Heather since she won the mile at the American Track League. And Heather was in Elle's wedding. They're pretty close and good friends. In 4th place, Shannon Osika, 4:02:18. 5th place, Helen Schlochtenoffen, 4:04:41. And in 6th, Julia Haymatch, 4:08:84, a PB. Grace Barnett in 7th, 4:05:05 PB. Danny Aragon, daughter of Chuck Aragon, 1984 Olympic trials finalist. She ran a PB in 4:05:09. She's running for Empire Elite. And Danny Jones was 9th in 4:06:46. Jenny Simpson, 4:07:76. Again, very pleasing, but our system is such that you've got to be there. And Jenny Simpson, I think, was hoping to make it. It just didn't happen this time. And she's had a long career. I hope to see her move up to the 5, maybe the 10. Think about that, Jenny. That would be really fun. Now you really get angry with me. But Elle Perrier, bravo. Beautiful race. I think that she is looks really in the battle for a medal. This woman is tough. And Corey McGee and Heather McLean are put together a wonderful team in the women's 1500. Okay. So we got 2 more events. We're going to do the men's 800. The men's 800 meters. Remember how I told you that there are moments of pathos, moments of happiness, moments of sadness, moments of joy, and they could all be in one race? Well, the men's 800 had all of them. In the race was Clayton Murphy, bronze medalist from 2016, Isaiah Jewett, USC NCAA star, Bryce Hoppel, NCAA champion competing for Adidas, Isaiah Harris from Nike, Brandon Kidder, Brooks Beast, Samuel Voles, Notre Dame, Daniel Nixon. The most bemedaled was Donovan Brazier. Donovan is the 2019 world champion and the American record holder at 800 meters. Isaiah Jewett took it out in 50.6. And right there was Donovan Brazier, and a little bit behind him, Donovan Brazier, and then Isaiah Harris. And right behind that was Clayton Murphy. Clayton Murphy went through the 451.6. Donovan started his patented move around 500 meters, and on his shoulder was Bryce Hoppel and was Harris. Clayton Murphy was a little bit back, but Clayton started to move about 550, and Jewett was still leading, and people are going, what's happening here? Knew something was up when Clayton Murphy went by Donovan, and Donovan at 600 didn't seem to be able to react. The look on his face was one of agony, one of pain, and probably one of heat, because it was about 110 degrees on the track. But Clayton made a brilliant tactical move, and his first lap was 51.6. His second lap was 51.7. So he pulled the Dave Waddle, almost perfect pacing. And Murphy just ran away from the crowd doing the world leader in 1:43.17. In second place and holding on with a beautiful PB was Isaiah Jewett of USC, 1:43.85. And in third place, making the team, which is what he wanted to do, was Doha fourth placer Bryce Hoppel, 1:44.14. In fourth place, Isaiah Harris, 1:44.58. Seasonal best. Brandon Kidder, Brooks Beast in fifth, 1:45.08. Samuel Voles from Notre Dame, 1:45.54 PB. And Daniel Nixon in seventh, 1:45.56 PB. In eighth place, Donovan Brazier. I think he was that agony of defeat guy, 1:47.88. I'm still not sure what happened. I suspect the heat got to him. I thought he was having some challenges in the semifinals. Know this about Donovan. He is not one to give up easy. We will see him come back. It's just sad not to see him make the team. But I'm going to quote Sam Kendricks. Donovan was wearing the Nike World Championship black uniform, which, as Sam told us a little later, is a prestigious uniform. It gives you a lot of respect, but everybody's gunning for you. So it's like a golden set of golden handcuffs. And Donovan did the best he could last night. And unfortunately, it wasn't enough. But hats off to Clayton Murphy. Clayton's had 2 or 3 tough years, and that's what our sport's about. How do you come back from the injuries? How do you come back from the devastation of not having a good race? But Clayton ran a brilliant race, 1:43.17. I think he's in the best shape of his life. He's back with his college coach, and he and his lovely wife, Ariana Washington, are back in outside of, I think, Akron, Ohio. So congrats to Clayton. He had a great little move where he put his arms like this kind of after the race. And Clayton was our first socialing the distance, so we will repost him. It's a fun interview. Isaiah Jewett, again, second. Congratulations from USC, 1:43.85. Bryce Hoppel. Congratulations, Bryce, 1:44.14. It's all about making the Olympic team, Olympic standard. You know how I've been telling you, sports fans, that it's all about making the team. Nothing else really matters at the Olympic trials. Doesn't matter if you go fast, you go slow, whatever. It was hot as hell. Longest event, 12.5 laps, 5,000 meters. Not the way I would have wanted to run something. But this is how it worked. There was a pack up front with the NCAA champion Ellie Hennis, North Carolina State, Allie Buchalski, Brooks Beast, Abby Cooper, New Balance, Rachel Schneider, Hoka 1-1, Carisha Schweizer, Bowerman Track Club, and Elise Cranny, Bowerman Track Club. The pace was honest, 15:30 pace, and in that kind of weather, the players that all made the Olympic standard. There were 7 in the race who had the Olympic standard, and it came down to Carissa Schweitzer and Elise Cranny battling for first and second, with Rachel Schneider there in third. Abby Cooper, who had done that heroic 15:07.8 in the heats, was right there, as well as Allie Buchalski. But in the final lap, Elise Cranny, who had pulled out of the 1500, showed that decision was quite smart. In a race like this, it's going to come down to the last lap, and that's what it did. Carissa Schweizer ran a 64:12, pretty dang impressive. But Elise Cranny went 63:73. And the young woman from Stanford, now running for Bowerman Track Club, won her first Olympic trials, 15:27.81. In second place was Carissa Schweitzer, 15:28.11. In third place was Rachel Schneider, 15:29.56. And in fourth place, Abby Cooper, 15:31.05. And in sixth place, Allie Buchalski, 15:47.52. It was a most excellent 5,000, and it was a great day 4. I really think that the heat affected everybody. Hopefully it'll be a little cooler. We have 2 break days now, and we'll be writing and be posting stories, and also we'll have some interviews up too. So after this, check out some of our fun interviews and fun stories. Larry Eder with RunBlogRun. Talk to you soon.